Hello and welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do the Spirit Guide Monthly live every last Friday of the month. I hope you're able to join me. I also do pick a card readings, and that's what I have for you today. Today's pick a card reading is about a connection where there's potentially no contact, but you're just looking for closure. This is a reading for closure. Just tell me what happened. This may be about third-party situations. It could be about twin flames. It could be about somebody that you met and things never connected. I won't know until the time of your reading. We have 4 piles and a pick a card. See which one really calls out to you. That will be the reading that you're most meant to receive. But again, today's question is, just give me closure. Tell me what happened. And it could be talking about whatever karmic lessons we were meant to learn from a connection that didn't work out. I'll see you at the time of your reading. Hello, welcome back. If you chose pile number 1, then this is your reading. Listen, I pre-selected these cards. They are not going to have any greater meaning. They are from the Healing Yourself Oracle. Frankly, I don't like the Oracle, so I'm going to be using it only to mark piles going forward. It's just a little bit too... It's not worded in a way that I find to be productive. It's got very good images on it, and for another reader, maybe it's the perfect fit. But for me, I felt it was a little bit too, I think a little bit too direct in its messages. There are a million ways to say something, and it was choosing the harshest. So pile number 1, this is a reading for closure. Tell me why this connection did not work out. All right, here we go. I have the Sun in reverse. We're going to get all the cards down. We're going to take a 12-card spread on this. 1 and 2. Oops. And then I have the Hermit in the upright. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. Let's get going here. 5 of Wands in reverse. I have the 10 of Swords in reverse. Wow, that's trauma. I have the 9 of Swords in the upright. I have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Knight of Pentacles in the upright. Justice in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. 3 of Swords in reverse. The Emperor in reverse. And then the Hanged Man in the upright. Okay, so right off the bat, this kind of looks like something, a connection that you came to before you were well healed. The Sun in reverse, the Sun is a very healing energy. The Sun in the upright, it's good vibes, it's positivity, it's new life. It can be the card for babies. In reverse like that, the Sun is such a positive card that it can have almost exactly the same meaning in reverse. But with multiple other cards here, including the 10 of Swords in reverse, which is a card of trauma, the 9 of Swords in the upright, which is a card of like weeping and crying, and sometimes of cruelty, with the 6 of Swords in reverse, which is a delay or needing to bring something to an end. I've also got the 3 of Swords in reverse, which is one of my cards for emotional healing. The Emperor in reverse, which is a card about sometimes it's a misuse of power in something. Here's what I've got. This looks like it was a karmic relationship following a more significant one. That you were in a place where you needed to heal. That you kind of were in this vulnerable position where you were looking for all these answers. This is the Virgo card. The Hermit card is the Virgo card. But it's also the card for withdrawing into self, sometimes needing to spend some time alone in order to heal. Here's what I've got. Whatever the connection that you're asking about, you are actually in need of healing and potentially spending a little bit of time alone, and that may be why a connection did not work out for you. If you ran into something and it felt like there was this tremendous connection, but you could never get it quite off the ground, it may have been your guides kind of conspiring to keep you in a solitary energy so that you could heal. This particular person, like it's almost, the 5 of Wands in reverse is a card of peace, but it's also a card of not engaging. And it's almost as if the relationship that we're asking about existed mostly in the potential rather than in the reality. I think that really what happened was that you were resolving some traumatic issues and fears from the past. everything was about giving you a new perspective. That's the Hanged Man in the upright. The Hanged Man's an interesting card because it can be being held in stasis. And you may have found that no matter what, and this is a card of being out of balance, the Knight of Pentacles is a slow and steady progress towards something. The Chariot in reverse is bringing something to an end. What I really do have here is that this was a karmic relationship about teaching you that reciprocity in relationships, this Justice card in reverse, suggests that you may have given more than you received. I don't necessarily have a third party card here, but this is the need to heal. This is the need to look within and spend a little bit of time alone. But sometimes we have something that almost comes along and like shines a flashlight onto what it is we need to heal within. The home card, again, I selected it so it doesn't have a lot of bearing on it, but the image is somebody who is very focused on home and hearth. And you may have had a series of relationships, and this will not, general readings can't hold true for everybody, and you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. But it looks to me as if this person, like they didn't put in any effort with that Five of Wands in the upright. That's like, it can be banter. It can be, it can actually be one of the cards for like that kind of fun, like humorous flirting that people can undertake. But the Five of Wands in reverse is sometimes simply not engaging. It's this very peaceful energy. It's a not doing anything type of energy. And it looks to me as if you had a relationship that was to kind of embroil your heart, to keep you busy as you did a little bit of work with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse to come to a healed state. Because the Hermit is telling me with this Justice card in reverse, by the way, the Justice card is one of the cards for divine timing, is that you needed some time by yourself, but you may not have been willing to. A lot of the times we it's called a rebound relationship sometimes. We kind of immediately transfer our feelings to another relationship when we've been disappointed in one before, or when we've got a lot riding on an external relationship rather than our internal one. This particular energy and this particular energy, you needed to heal from past trauma, potentially brought about by emotional or physical abuse in the past. I think it was likely emotional because the Five of Wands in the upright can be one of the cards for physical abuse for me, but I have it in reverse here. The other person, had all of their own work to do, and I don't know that they did any of it. Like it's almost as if they were something that you could invest in, that you could invest your feelings in, but it would trigger your trauma and make you confront some things from the past. This is a card of laying things to rest as well. Now, the Six of Swords in the upright is one of the few literal death cards in the upright. It's not death here, but it can be when it's in combination with other cards. It's because they are usually depicted on the River Styx. For me, it's only ever a literal death when it's in reverse and it needs to be in combination with two other cards. They both happen to be here. That's the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords, but they would both need to be in the upright. It is almost as if you needed to lay to rest some past issues in relationships to have a thriving, to take a new perspective with this Hanged Man in the upright on what a relationship really means to you. I think that here's what I've got. This other person just kind of, they didn't contribute much. They didn't contribute much. They likely have all of their own emotional issues and a fear of intimacy. You may have been struggling with, we have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being is what this particular card says. I think that you are in a depressive energy, likely following some trauma that reminded you of past trauma, and that you are looking for this particular connection to try and help lead you back towards, happiness, joy, that feeling of resonance, that feeling of the sun in the upright. This person was, I kind of get this feeling of like emotionally unavailable. I do not know if they were, because what can happen is until we repair it, we repeat it. I don't know if they were a great deal like a former partner, or if it was, this is one of those soul-searching cards, again, that enlightenment card. that looking for an honest man energy that comes with the Hermit as well. I don't think that this person, it might have been a third party situation with that Three of Swords in reverse, by the way. The threes in reverse in a relationship reading for me can mean a third party. They may not have been completely free. I don't know if they said a great deal or if they contributed a great deal. I think that there was a profound level of connection. I do. I almost feel like something came along and brought you a little bit back to life when your light was fading a little bit with the Sun in reverse. All of this was to help teach you a different perspective on connection, on relationships, on the happiness. I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. I think you were slightly isolated and kept to yourself and kind of almost given this opportunity for a karmic relationship so that you could heal some trauma issues that over the course of time you've had to come to the kind of confronting that there was nothing that you were going to be able to do to force this person to be by your side. And as you did, you began the work of healing. I think you had to confront some things from the past as well, and to really examine what it is that you thought would make up your actual happiness. The blame situation, I think at first this is like a lifeline that the universe threw you. That the universe threw a connection into your path, but it was to help you heal and get back into balance, to bring a bad cycle to an end. The Three of Swords in reverse for me is healing from heartbreak as well. It is likely that somebody has taken advantage of you in the past in terms of what you would give, that you would accept less than you were giving, because I don't know that you had the healthiest relationships in the past, and that's not a judgment. Remember, we just do what we learn. It is very difficult to have these beautiful, thriving connections when we've never even seen them. Let's get going with the Infinity Oracle. Eternal love, interesting. Now, please remember, if you've met a twin flame, and this can be a twin flame connection, if you've met a twin flame and it isn't working out because the other person is just not ready to do their own work, that doesn't mean they weren't your twin flame, but it can mean that it's a karmic relationship in this lifetime. That the idea that they may have simply not been able to find the strength to look within to heal. They may have been dealing with their own background of abuse and not being able to heal it. I have this weird energy of this connection that transcends, it just transcends this particular world, but it may not be its time to be in this particular world. If you're watching this, you're looking for closure, and I think you're wondering, why did the person not reciprocate? Because this is a non-reciprocating energy. It has nothing to do with your worth or whether or not you're lovable. It's just that all of this damage, this is damage, this is damage, this is damage, this is damage, all of it goes both ways. And your twin flame is essentially made from the same energy that you are. But not all twin flame connections end in unions. Sometimes we have to release them, understanding that it's like, well, no matter what's going on with you, I deserve better treatment than this. And we learn these standards for our love, for our own happiness, for our own self-protection. Take control. That's kind of what I was thinking. Divine feminine. Ooh, union. Healthy boundaries. Karmic lesson. That was the feeling I was getting. Is that this connection also challenged the person you were connected to examine who they were and who they are. But are they doing their work? It all the emotional processing cards are on. This will be you, this will be them. Can it go both ways in this type of reading? Of course it can. But they appear to not be, it's like they think about new things because of you with this Hanged Man energy. But I don't know that they have the momentum to keep going on a healing journey. There does appear to be a third party involved in this particular situation. I don't think that it's an active connection. And You know, here's the thing that's bothering me just a little bit. Remember, when we talk about like emotional abuse or narcissistic trait, we learn things around us. Like, people are more than the worst thing than they've ever done, and we can all learn to do new and better things. I think the third party situation may have caused this person to confront the ways in which they were kind of, I almost want to say, poisoning their own well. But it's as if they didn't have something to give to you, and this turned into a karmic lesson. And does that mean there will not be union within this lifetime? Now let's get a couple more cards before we talk about that. Because remember, in general readings, it can go, in all sorts of directions, and different things can be true for different people. This particular energy, the Hanged Man is also a sacrifice card. Yeah, forbidden, denial, hope. And I want one more on this. Beauty, and then 2 came out in my hand, so I'm going to say success. Here's the thing. This person, I think, may have viewed you as this forbidden energy and denial. This really could be a third-party situation in which they didn't go for it because they were already involved with somebody, or they felt it was taboo. Here's the thing, this person just was not in the right emotional space. They just weren't, and they aren't, as near as I can tell, they haven't leaned in on doing the work that they would need to in order to be in that space. The beauty and the success, I think that you are watching this reading because you really do just, you're just like, hey, I just want my own life back. This has wasted so much of my time, and I just kind of want to know so that I can let go and move forward. Is there hope here? There's hope for you finding the type of love that you truly deserve. Is it meant to come from this person? We're taking some angel answers cards. Within the next few weeks, get more information. I want one more card on this. I feel like there's closure on the table here for you. And is it real closure, or is it that your understanding of why this had to happen will be resolved? That all of the things that you learned about yourself and the nature of love and the nature of spirituality, forgiveness. The next card was yes. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think you're very close to meeting somebody else. Could this be union? Yes, we do have the union card over there, but we also have karmic lesson. I think that no matter the outcome of this particular connection, you really want to know what happened. Your person just kind of wasn't, I kind of want to say, brave enough. They held back a great deal. They weren't willing to look at the things that they'd done. I think they may have engaged in some behaviors that they weren't very proud of. I think there was a third party in there, and they were very, I don't want to say insecure, but I do kind of want to say that they didn't want to view themselves in that light. Even if they were very, very drawn to you, even if things happened between the two of you, I think that ultimately they're insecure in their worth, and they decided to stay where they are and take the path of least resistance. Does that mean they will stay there forever? No. But what I've got with this particular energy is that you are going to, there's more coming in the next few weeks with forgiveness and yes. That regardless of what the outcome of this particular connection may or may not be, that you will feel as if it was worth it. That you learned a karmic lesson that allowed you to evolve. But your person, I don't know how else to say this other than they didn't know how to fight this fight. They couldn't either look within or look without. It looks to me as if they simply had trouble facing their own truth. But you look as if you have. And I kind of think you feel like, I'd like real closure, but if I'm not going to get it in the 3D, I'm going to be providing it for myself. I think that this particular energy, this reading ends with the Six of Swords in reverse. Like I said, it can be a death card in the Hanged Man. I think you're ready to put this to rest. so that you can have your own vibrant, thriving life again. And by the way, if like you're watching this and you're not in the space to hear that, I don't think this is your pile, and that can happen. All readers have different collectives. And why? Because like this person has been through it. This is you. This person who's been through it. You spent way too much time alone. You had to work through, you've given up on occasion. You've come back. There's been triggers. There's been weeping. There's been a lot of processing around this. And now you just kind of want to, I'm ready to put this to rest so that I can move on. We have unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, attraction and affection, wedding rings, union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise. We have paradise, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, exploring each other, and then it comes out with heartbroken. Deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. And then the dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, heal. I think that this connection woke you up to the idea of soulmates, of twin flames, of eternal connection. And are you eternally connected to this person even if things do not work out in the 3D? Yes, you still are. And the paradise where I think just so much love went into this connection from your side and so much fear went into it from the other person's side. Honest to goodness, that's the overwhelming energy that I have here, is that mostly what happened is this person was not able to find the courage that they needed to look within to heal, to resolve what they needed to in order to bring about union. And could they still do that within this lifetime? Of course they could. But the energy that I have here is somebody who's simply ready to let go and to move on and to go towards another form of union, another form of connection. I think you might be asking this, you know, watching this to find out, it's like, did they choose that other person over me? I don't think so. I don't think that's what it was. I think that this is just the Chariot in the upright is a card of war. It's right alongside the Three of Swords in the upright in reverse. These both in the upright are two cards of engagement, of battle. It's like they couldn't fight for themselves. They wanted the path of least resistance. Have courage, awaken the warrior of light within you. And then you cast a spell with your existent. Magic flows brightly and radiantly within you. And I want one more on this. Release your creative energies, make use of them in your life. I think that you're this very powerful person, that you know that you are truly worthy of reciprocal love, that you have often been a person who has experienced, I kind of want to say, unusual things around you. But in terms of what this connection was meant to be, it was meant to teach you a lesson, and that love is still there in another dimension. Will it catch up to you in another lifetime? That's the way it's supposed to work, yes. Is it still possible that you could reunite in this lifetime? It would be a while. It would be a while. This is just somebody who's not facing their stuff. And I'm not saying that to hurt anybody. It's just forbidden, denial, hope, success, and beauty. You have everything coming to you anyway. But this person may have not found the way to, just like this connection allowed you to shine a light into what you needed to heal within your own heart and your own soul in order to take responsibility for your own happiness, to resolve some past trauma, to do the work that you needed to do to have the best connections that you could. It's like you're still connected to them in other dimensions. They are still a part of you. But at this particular time, it looks as if you've outgrown them and that they have retreated into essentially a life with fewer challenges, is just what it looks like. That they're taking the easier path. We have work balance, abundance, And then I want one more card on this. These are the affirmations cards, things that you can keep going towards to find happiness. And again, if you're watching this reading, it's because you kind of want to be able, letting go. It's because you really do hope to be able simply to move on with your life. But you wanted an answer, and the answer is quite simply that this person couldn't find, it's like they started on a path and they just didn't have the emotional wherewithal to keep going on it. Work balance. I am more than my job. My work is important and provides a sense of purpose, but I must create a boundary. I will honor my mental and physical health first. I work to live. I do not live to work. This is a good card about boundaries and a good card about having diversity in your life to bring about balance. Abundance. Money is abundant and I only have to seek it with confidence, walking forth into fortune. I will do the work and the money shall come. You've done your work, and I think what's really coming to you is all that you need to make you happy, to give yourself your stable feeling of home and connection, letting go. I choose to be free and will fly towards positive relationships. Words and actions will no longer make me feel lesser than what I truly am, a gift to this world. I choose to embody and let go. You are simply, I believe, stronger in this particular incarnation than the person you are very connected to. I don't think they could find the will to fight a battle that was all about reclaiming their own personal power. I get the sense that there will be times throughout the course of the rest of their life where they will experience regret. And we're going to get a hidden truth card to close this out. But at the present time, I don't have a path forward with this particular connection because your person simply didn't find the strength to face their emotional truths and join you on a healing journey. I have beggar. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. And then the shadow attribute is dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. Honest to goodness, what I really get from this is you simply deserved somebody who would meet you, who would match your energy. And for a variety of reasons, this person just, they couldn't quite get there. They just couldn't quite get there. They had, I think, the Emperor in the Upright is one of the cards for wisdom. It's like they could see the reasons to heal, but they just couldn't quite get there. And will they keep trying, and will they keep thinking of you as an inspiration? Maybe. But they seem a little bit 3 steps behind you. 3 steps behind you. And I think the universe has something in store for you that will change your perspective. This was always going to be a slightly difficult type of reading. Let's find out what the hidden truth was. I daydream about a life with you. I can be myself with you. And I want one more on it. I want to start over. I can't be with you. More than anything, I think this person wishes they could be the person that deserves the life that, like, that kind of connection hinted at. But ultimately, I don't think they found the personal strength to do so. And the more important part is that you have something coming to you that will fulfill that. It is the blame. I don't think you blame them. If you did, you don't any longer. And I think that through your healing journey, you simply found the ways to be happy, to be healed, to understand the love that you deserve. And you can always tell that you have healed from a connection that did not work out when you can simply find the space to be grateful for the things that it taught you. If you're not there yet, you will be very soon. And group number 1, it isn't that this person lacked feeling for you, but it's almost as if they lacked the courage to find their way towards the person who truly deserved you. And that they just got a little lost in their own head. If there was a third-party situation involved, all this did was illustrate to them the parts that they were missing. And I got a feeling of a lot of regret on their part, but I also got a feeling of being simply just a little too overwhelmed to do the work that they need to do in this lifetime to find you, but that the universe has something in store for you soon. That was your reading. Take care. Be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. Hey, we have the Cirque du Tarot bringing you a predictive spread of 12 cards, 6 cards for you, 6 cards for them. I have patience as the marker for this. This is from the Healing Yourself Oracle. I will be candid, I don't like the Oracle, so I'm only using the cards to mark piles, and I did pre-select them. So I'm not going to go into the meanings for those particular cards, I just used the images, but we're going for pile number 2. Please keep in mind this is a reading for closure. This is when you've come to the point where you're like, you know what, I just want to let go. I want to move on with my life, but please tell me what happened. So let's get going here. What happened here? What was the lesson? Why didn't this connection work out? Let's get going here. 1 and 2 and 3. All right, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you would like to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. And let's get going here. Okay. All right. Boy, somebody was just, you have cried a lot. Okay. So the 9 of Cups starts out with like the idea of wish fulfillment and manifestation. I've got it with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and then I've got the 5 of Swords, Page of Wands, 9 of Swords, and the Empress. King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Wands in reverse, Strength card in the upright, and then the 2 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So it looks like this may have been a third-party situation. It doesn't have to be, but this 3 of Wands in reverse means that they were very torn between choices. The 3 of Wands in the upright is the card of anticipation and of like basically your ship coming in, everything arriving. Your energy is like it was like everything you ever wanted. You thought that you had found the person who was the person. But this Wheel of Fortune in reverse almost feels like you were treated unfairly, that you were devalued by the connection. The 5 of Swords in the upright is conflict, sometimes within, sometimes without. With this Page of Wands and the 9 of Swords and the Empress, it is really as if you were healing your connection to the physical world. But I've got this need to release a lot of emotions around that you almost had to. It almost feels like die and come back to life. Like almost face a bunch of your inner fears. This feeling of defeat that can come with the 5 of Swords. And then for their energy, I've got the King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse, Strength card in the upright, and then the 2 of Cups in reverse. I think they felt the connection. Like there's very much this connection that was emotional. And for them, there was a mental space for it. You occupied a lot of their thoughts. But for some reason, they really fought it. They fought it, and they wanted things to come to an end. This may be a no-contact situation. It might be of some duration. Like, you might not have heard from this person in a couple of years. With the 3 of Wands in reverse, it's like they tried to keep themselves occupied and make other choices. Honest to goodness, with the Strength card, the card of healing and overcoming and of courage, I think that they actually wanted you quite a bit, but they couldn't find the space in their life to give you what, it's not even what they thought you deserved. It's that they couldn't find the strength to work on the things that they needed to. It really is as if they kind of pieced out on a situation almost because they didn't want to look at all of the things that they would need to change. They appear to kind of shy away from romantic connection They like emotional connection. I'm not positive. They like emotional connection, but they like the kind of concept behind true love is difficult for them. That they get locked into their ways very easily. They shut down. They have a really hard time taking, they have a feeling of blame a lot, is the thing. They really liked a connection with you, but they liked it on their terms. And like when you pushed for more, it looks like they just kind of shut it down. If this was a true third-party situation, know that I'm not showing a great deal of love there. This Three of Wands in reverse is, you know, sometimes like their passion was drawn towards you. And their emotional world, like I said, it's like they cut off at the idea of like love. They like a lot of things about connection. It's almost as if parts of them start shutting down around the idea of love. They're very conflicted around it. Again, the Page of Wands in the upright, Three of Wands in reverse. Remember, 6 in the upright, 6 below as well. This is partially for twin flames. It is also the card, the number for energetic internal balance. And there just isn't a balance here. As you healed, like you found the way to kind of be the super version of you. And honest to goodness, I think that this was not a wasted connection. But it does appear as if we're going to put that discipline over there. I kind of want to say that that's where they are. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. For whatever reason, this is something that they were not going to allow themselves. And there may have been very good reasons for them. They may have not wanted to put in the work. They may have found it too challenging. And they may have, like, again, with that third-party action, they may have had an easier option available to them that wasn't as challenging. Perseverance, I know that I can set my mind to whatever I set my mind to. I know I can do whatever I set my mind to and then regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Listen, I think this person has regrets, but I don't think with this Two of Cups in reverse, I'm just going to be really, really honest. I cannot get the sense that romantic love is something that they value within this lifetime. Remember, it is not everybody does value romantic love at the same level. And it almost is as if this person they decided to prioritize other things. And the connection was there, but it was, I kind of almost want to say, too intense for them. And so they didn't know how to access that part of themselves. This Strength and Overcoming card and that delicately balancing figure on that particular card, it is really like they simply chose a slightly different direction. And that's not anything to do with you. It's due to limitations within them. The clarity, the truth. I don't think that there's been contact in a while here. I just don't think there's been contact in a while. And I think for a while, like, it really occupied a lot of your thoughts, but I don't think it does any longer. I think you're really in this very healthy energy. Like, it might sneak up on you sometimes, that Nine of Swords energy. Like, particularly in your dreams. But I think that mostly you want an answer as to, like, did I learn everything I was meant to from that? Am I supposed to be letting go of it now? Was it all in my head? It doesn't appear to have all been in your head. It doesn't. It looks like this person just kind of couldn't find the space, their emotional space for true love. They hold connection at a distance. They may really think that, I've got this very gendered feeling off of this. Like, they think that it's this, romance is the stuff of poetry, but not real life. I have regain balance, ego death, keep the faith, life-changing decision, and then I have soulmate. Now, could that be that they're coming back? Sure. remember, this is a general reading. Different people can have different outcomes. But what I've really kind of got here is that I don't know that you're going to be there when and if they do. Honestly, I think that you're the person with the ego death, understanding that sometimes we can get so focused on something because we want it. And we're focused on the wanting it and why can't I have what I want? With this Nine of Cups energy, I'm also saying that's my favorite card because it means you're going to get what you wished for, but we don't always wish for that which is good for us. And sometimes what comes with an ego death is understanding that even if a connection did not work out, it was for a good reason. It was to help illustrate something that we needed to learn. It was so that we could learn and make decisions that were in the best support of the idea of a soulmate. Now, could that still be this person? Yes, but I set the intention here of this is a closure and a letting go energy. And I have to be honest, this particular energy, the only cup I have for them is here, which is an emotionally controlled person, and then the Two of Cups in reverse. It's like you hold a place for them. It is possible that within their lifetime, you are the person who will bring about change for them, meaning the missed opportunity of this particular connection because they just decided to prioritize other things and kind of muscle through it. Whatever they felt, they kind of decided to let that part go. And here's the thing, if it was brought into your life to help you learn your own value, to help you have time to heal, to make sure that you were only accepting the love worthy of you, then that makes you that puts you into the space where you can attract real and lasting love. The reason that I'm a little bit hesitant around this genuinely could be a new beginning, but I just don't have anything definitive on it. We have belonging, very interesting card. Chaos, that's the storm energy, that's the tower energy. With fragment, then I have movement. I don't have a strong sense that this, if they're coming back, this reading's not really giving me a lot of information as to when or if. My gut sense is that they just they decided to kind of strong arm their feelings away, whatever they were. It's like they decided to take a different course. It's as if when really push came to shove, they chose this because the Strength card is the Leo card, but it can also be the card of kind of investing in how we are perceived by others. It's not technically a card of vanity, but what it is a card of is this is somebody who likes to be admired. And I really kind of get the sense that it's not in this realm, that they don't prioritize, it's almost like they don't prioritize romance. And if they could have, it likely would have been with you. I have a light-filled angel is at your side. It watches over you at every dark doorway. I think that if this was a rejection, I don't really have it as a rejection, but I have something come and screech into a halt due to a conflict within this person. Every connection that crosses our path can teach us something absolutely essential to real connection. And that's just a little bit of the feeling that I have on this one, is that it wasn't wasted time, and I don't think you view it that way. You are experiencing a spiritual blossoming, take a new direction, and be open to new experiences. That's the feeling that I get from this card set, is that the keep the faith, life-changing decision, and soulmate, I think you're the person with the life-changing decisions. I think that this is the card, the Empress, which is the card of mothers, and it is the card of new life, and it is the card of celebrating life and enjoying life. I think that you're just kind of like, you know what, this is my journey and I'm going to be taking it. If you can't find the stones to join me on that path, well, then I guess you're not worthy of walking the path with me. And I don't get anger or bitterness from this at all. I just get this kind of feeling that you're ready to open a different door. Because even if at one point you thought that this was the only person who could make you happy, like you've started to discover I am the person who makes me happy. And this person sent me down a rabbit hole where I found myself. That's just kind of the energy I've got, because this is that loving life. But I think you still dream about them sometimes. I think that you're asking questions about them because more than anything, I think you kind of want to know, because I do have that third party indication. It's like, well, did they decide to stay with them? Did they decide to marry them? Did they decide to be with that person? I don't think so. If they're still with that person has made a great deal of peace with how little they truly get out of the connection on an emotionally resonant level. It may be for security, it may be for appearances, but this particular person holds back from emotional connection. I have dilettante, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. And then the shadow attribute is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. I would say that's them. Honest to goodness, I get this strange vibe from this person with this Knight of Pentacles that they sound like somebody who, because the Ace of Swords is somebody who speaks with authority, who has conviction, who has strength, who has clarity. Like, I think they talk about big concepts, but when like push comes to shove, they're kind of speaking about it almost academically. That they don't really, I'll be really, really honest. I don't think this person has ever, nor will they ever fall completely in love. And it's a choice. It's a choice. It's likely fear-based. Let's go ahead and get some wellness cards here. Is there anything you want to tell me about what's coming up or what else we need to know about this particular connection? But you're looking for closure, and this person just like, it's like they pull up the brakes with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse when it gets too close to an emotional breakthrough for them. I really get the sense that this person, from a fear-based place, like their choices are more about the practical world. We have karmic relationship, the dragonfly, palm tree. I got that from the third party thing. If they're still together, it is something about security. Karmic relationship is fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. With the dragonfly, be lighthearted, finding out things coming to light, adapt, change, and heal. And then palm tree, stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, and flexibility. Even though I get a sense that this person just kind of, they don't know how to open that part of their heart. I'm not getting a twin flame situation here. I don't think this is a twin flame. It may have felt like one. I think it really felt like you had, it was almost like this person was a list of things that you were hoping to find, but they were missing this very key ingredient, and it's kind of like access to their heart. And I'm not saying they're cold-blooded. I'm saying that they kind of, it's like they just don't know how. And here's the thing. With this regret energy, discipline, and perseverance, I think they've chosen to focus on career, on things that are about establishing wealth, potentially some power. But this Two of Cups in reverse, it's like you were the closest they were going to get within this lifetime. If they are still with this third party energy, it is for security and for appearances. And that person doesn't get a bigger slice of pie than you do. Like they've just made peace with how little that particular connection offers to them romantically. It does appear to be something that is a matter of convenience for the people involved. This particular person, they shut things down from their own issues. It's like they don't, I almost feel like they think like real love is a weakness. Whether or not they think it's either like a romantic concept only seen in like poetry and movie and art, but they find that it like almost interferes with things. We have work balance. Wow, last group got that as well for a different reason. Creating roots. Yeah, energized. And the reason I said for a different reason is this person, like, they want power. They want power more than they want love. And that's the easiest way I know of saying that. Everything is about creating stability within this world. This energized is each and every morning I wake up with vitality, ready to live my life to the fullest. This energy is becoming of me, and I notice how beneficial it is to my present moment. When tired, I will simply rest, then keep moving forward. I think that you are living in this energy of, and I don't think you were there, I think it's been the easiest journey, quite frankly. With this Five of Swords, I think there's been plenty of conflict. But I think you've come to a place of like being at peace with the idea that it is what it is meant to be. And that ultimately this person's just a little bit, one of the meanings of the King of Cups in the upright can be somebody who's a little emotionally withholding. And I kind of get that. They just don't view love in this highly romantic, isn't it wonderful? I hope I have my soulmate. We will have a great love together. They want the trappings of this world. They want achievement. They want the admiration of others. They like power. With the Strength card, they genuinely, because Leos, one of the things is that they like to be the center of attention. I actually love Leos. They're wonderful, courageous, strong personalities. But they are also, this is one of the cards that I associate with politicians because they are comfortable with being center stage. And as near as I can tell, this person opted for a path that did not challenge them emotionally as much. And that the feelings were there, but it's like they locked down on them. And I'm going to go ahead and say it's from a fear-based place. They may not have ever, like, you know, kind of gotten to know that part of themselves within this lifetime, but they're choosing not to. And they're choosing the trappings of this world and power. And if they're still with that particular person, because I did have that third party card, like that person knows what they are and aren't getting. That person didn't choose somebody else over you. They didn't. They chose, like I said, the path of least resistance. They chose the trappings of a 3D world and the power available within it, rather than trying to open up to a soul level connection. And I have this feeling that it's something that, like, it will be fleeting, but it will come into them at many stages of their life throughout the course of the rest of their life. With that Two of Cups we had in reverse at the end of the reading, is they will always feel the loss of it. They will always feel the loss of it. But they just didn't have the same view of romantic love. And I don't think they really saw the point in trying to gain it. I'm going to go ahead and get a Hidden Truth card just to see if it has anything. These are frequently not very pleasant because it's the Hidden Truth. Here we go. Can I get what happened with this connection? Just give me closure. 1 and 2 and 3. What do we got? I don't want to know. They're coming from a fear-based place. They're just coming from a fear-based place. I personally think that they could not find the strength within in an emotional capacity to embrace that part of their heart. And instead they chose the trappings of the 3D world. Group number 2, that was your reading. I hope it helped. Take care. Be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 3, then this is your reading. I'm putting number 3 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their readings, but there will be timestamps in the description box down below. This is the Letting Go card. It is from the Healing Yourself Oracle. Candidly, I don't like the Oracle. I don't like the way things are worded, so I'm just using the Oracle cards to mark piles at this particular point. And I'll likely use them with my own interpretations, but they're just a little too harsh. They're a little too victim blamey, I think. So for group number 3, we're going to get going. We're looking at, this is a reading for closure. This is when you're interested in letting go. You just want to know what happens so that you can move forward. What happened with this connection? This is a reading for closure. What can I have for pile number 3? We're going to get oracle cards from the decks that the reading reveals the needs for. And before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like this reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. I have the Chariot in reverse with the 9 of Cups in the upright, Page of Cups in the upright. Oh, you were just Twitter-pated. With the 9 of Swords in the upright. A lot of fears in this particular one. Justice card in the upright, that's the Libra card. We're going to get all the cards down. I'm using a 12 card spread, 6 and 6. That is, you know, that's basically the yin yang. We're looking at what happened with the connection. 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay. I have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. I have the 5 of Wands in the upright. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. 9 of Wands in reverse, King of Wands in the upright with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Well, right away, your energy versus their energy is very interesting because like something had come to an end for you and you were very much, like I think you're in the space for something new and wonderful to begin with this 9 of Cups in the upright because it's the manifestation energy, that's the wish fulfillment. And you like may have potentially been the person coming towards this other person and you ran into their fears. You've done all this healing though. That's the divine timing card. It's the card for Libras as well. This is the card for Cancer, the astrological sign Cancer. Honest to goodness, it's like they think their family was going to disapprove too much. With this 10 of Cups in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's either public opinion or their family, but this person, like they were very conflicted about all of the changes they would have to make. And the 9 of Wands in reverse is sometimes a battle that you know better than to engage in. Like the 9 of Wands in the upright is having good boundaries, but I've got 9-9. It is almost as if they didn't know themselves well enough yet, because the 9s are about personal empowerment. I have 3 on the table. This person cares a lot more about other people's opinions than you think they might. If this was a third-party situation, it's long since been resolved. I feel like had to look at parts of themselves with this 5 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like coming in from the cold energy. I think that they just couldn't, they were conflicted. I think they contemplated all the things that they would have to change and they just couldn't do it. Like they couldn't face something with this King of Wands and then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And it really might have been, here's something that I think you might need to understand. This person cares so much more about the other people's opinions than you might think. Like if they kind of present as being this very strong person, they're not. Their self-esteem is incredibly fragile. I think that they were intrigued, but I don't know that this like became a relationship of any duration. They just kind of, I've got this weird giving up energy on them. Like it was too hard. And they were concerned about opinions of other people and how something would look. And I think that they were actually very drawn to you because there's this conflict card and they were confused about it as well. But the thing that's giving me pause is this was really painful for you. Like there were sleepless nights, there was weeping, there was the need to, I think there's a lot of self-recrimination. And this person's just like they retreat. They retreat from difficult things. However they present, however you saw them, it's not quite who they are. Like they might be your physical type, or they might like have a sense of humor that you like, because there's like one attribute that makes them this very Like you were convinced they were it. Here's the thing, I don't think you have been for a while. I just don't. I think you kind of came to this energy of like, I deserve reciprocity. I think for a while you've been looking for the lesson. That it's been long enough that I don't have a heartbreak card on this. I just have a lot of crying, like a lot of confusion on your part. And this particular person is just, they're not what they appear to be. That's I know I keep going to that, but they're just not who they appear to be. If they appear to be like, confident and strong and, smarter than everybody else, it's not how they feel inside. We have listened to your eternal song of your soul. Tune in and learn to trust it. I think all of this brought you to a greater connection with the divine. This is one of the cards for the divine timing card. It's fair and balanced as well. I think you realized you deserved more than you've been receiving. Tear down the walls around your heart. Give and receive security and warmth. I think that you were willing to give everything, and I'm not sure how much you received. Because like this person, the 5-5 there, it's like there were just, 5 is the number of change. It really is as if they resist change. They resist change within their life. They have a bunch of, I kind of want to say, rationalizations about who they are. And I know that they clearly did contemplate it, but ultimately decided no. We have summer. And by that's the birth of new things. It's a fertile and growing season. Can be something that's hot and heavy as well. It can be the literal season summer. But it's like they contemplated it and just released it. It's like they weren't willing to invest. It's like they weren't willing to invest. Divine masculine, stuck. Fear and anxiety. I'm telling you, like they're overly concerned with what other people will think. Runner. Well, we've got a lot around this person just being a fear-ruled person, no matter how they present to others. They have fear and anxiety issues. They have a fear of intimacy. They're very concerned with what other people think. Here's kind of what I've got that is just, please understand, this has nothing to do with your worth or whether or not you're lovable, but it's like they came at it from every angle other than like what a gift this person is. Like they do that with almost everything. They see the obstacle rather than the, like that's worth anything. They calculate their risk a lot. They calculate their risk. And it looks as if when they calculated the risk, they just kind of, in this, I don't want to say cold-blooded fashion, because it's not, but in this fear-driven fashion, decided that it wasn't. I think they believed that other people's opinions would, like they don't know how to have that not matter. They don't know how to have that not matter. And it's weird because I have this feeling that the way this person presents is as a leader, but they're just not. Like they're just not. They're more of a follower than you might think that they are. And they calculated the risk and kind of just, this looks like it's likely a no contact situation. And the disapproval of their family or society factored into it. It just factored into it. If there was a third party involved, it did not turn out to be the deciding factor. Indecision, I use my intuition in all aspects of life. I do feel like they weighed it out. And the reason that like I kind of I don't love the energy around that, is that it's like they viewed it as a balance sheet. Like, what would I gain if I had this person? What would I lose if I had this person? Whereas, like, the person who really is worthy of you is like, it's worth it for this person. They don't make those type of lists. Envy, balance, and I want one more, death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And that balance thing, I swear I just said that. It's like they calculated the risk and the loss, and it was like a balance sheet. This person was not in as an emotional space as you were. And I really feel like they were super attracted to you. Like they really, like they felt that, but they couldn't get over multiple other stumbling blocks. And those stumbling blocks appear to be the opinions of others. You might be divorced. Maybe their family is kind of against that because of that justice energy as well. But they care too much about the opinions of other people. They're too easily influenced to. And that envy card, I don't know. This person's priorities are odd to me. They're not an unfeeling person. If there was a third party involved, that is no longer a factor in this. Like it wasn't part of what led to the need for closure. But it really is like they prioritized everything other than your heart. We have the High Priestess of Air, which is basically the High Priestess card, the Goddess of the Moon, the Persephone card. There's all this mental energy around this with honesty. And then I have the High Priestess of Earth, which is all about security, and then wishing. Here is why I think that you had a lucky escape. Nobody should ever, anybody who truly, truly wants to be with you is not going to get caught up in the idea of, but like, what will my family think? What will my friends think? How will I be judged? How will I be judged? And they let that hold a place in what they decided to do. And ultimately, with that Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it looks like they've decided to release the connection. And take the, it's funny, because I think they probably want to think of themselves as a nonconformist, but they're taking a very conforming path. They're taking a very conforming path. They don't think of themselves this way, but they will follow like the rules of other people's opinions way too much. We have Mother Nature. The earth is my provider and I receive life from her. I use water and food to nourish my body and brain. Nature leads me towards acceptance and peace. I think you know that there is somebody more worthy of you. And that the whole reason that you're watching this is because you just kind of needed to know that this person just, their priorities were, I just want to say suspect, just suspect. We have balanced. My relationships and myself are two separate entities. So when I am feeling poorly, this does not mean my relationships are struggling and vice versa. This separation allows me a better sense of identity and a stronger bond with those closest to me. Honest to goodness, like the next person you allow to get close to you, the only thing is you might be a little bit in your own runner energy. We have communication. Healthy communication is meaningful in all relationships, and I realize that I must express to others how I desire to be communicated with. I manifest people that will expand my thinking, make me laugh, and bring happiness into my life. Here's the thing, like you're never doing this again. You're never going to give more than you get. Like if somebody's not meeting you on this clear, on an equal footing, on an equal plane, you're not going to waste your time. Somebody's really going to have to earn it going forward. Someone's simply going to have to earn it going forward. Let's get some messages of love cards. And this person, they weren't willing to. Like they weren't willing to. It's that thing where they care so much about what other people think that just bothers me. Because those people are very easily led and controlled by shame. And it's the fact that there's something around being connected to you that bumped into some kind of weird shame thing for them. And that's not how your truest partner would ever greet the idea of being in love with you. And it's not anything to do with you. It has to do with their own insecurities, their own the need for their own ego death, basically. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationship or addiction. And then I have camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past and make memories. And then I have the snake. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, and the other woman with ascending. Transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, and preparing for union. This was a great big old learning experience for you. And again, you're simply never going to take anything other than the complete package from somebody. Clever. And again, was there a third party involved here in that there's like opinions on the table? The judgment of others that is coming into play. It could be, I genuinely don't know if you know one of their exes or vice versa. Or again, it really is possible that you've been divorced and that they were afraid that their family would judge that. The words afraid keep coming out in this reading just way too much. They were just locked into a fearful place. They were stuck, fear, anxiety. Their inability to truly achieve like an intimate union with somebody. And ultimately, they just invested so much more in the idea of what other people would think. And here's the thing. Whatever that is meaning in this, and remember it's a general reading, so it's going to be, there's going to be differences. Whatever that means, like you didn't give it a second thought. Whatever their detractions are, however you might have been judged, you were like full speed ahead. I will do this. And they just didn't have a matching energy. And it's almost like, I don't want to say they're unworthy because it's not that strong. But they prioritized the wrong things. They just prioritized the wrong things. Will they kick themselves about it? It's hard to say. I think that they're very good at rationalizing things. I think that they repress and like engage in denial quite a bit. There's a strange energy around this person. Like it's like there's a sincere person there, but that sincere person is not as strong as the fearful, like concerned with what other people. I compare others to you. Like I guess the reason I don't like this is it's like, they felt it. They felt it, but they didn't have the guts to go for it. And it's not because of you, it's because they're way too invested in how they would be viewed by others. And their family comes into play. They felt like they'd be judged. I saved your texts and messages, and then I wish we could go back. Will you ever make things right? This really could be your energy. Because they're not in this space. They're not. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse is letting things go. They don't have the bravery for this. I do think that this is all true. And I think they have, I think they have a headspace for this. Like in their mind, in their fantasies, in their imagination. I think that they see themselves as a person who could go for this. But ultimately, that wishing energy, like I said, it stays in the fantastical for them. They just couldn't bring it into the 3D. Ultimately, they're just a little bit, this is such a harsh phrase, but it's like they're a slave to the opinions of other people. And they just, I don't know how else to put this other than they weren't strong enough. They just weren't strong enough to prioritize like a unique and special connection. But they saw your worth. It's just they saw it as too challenging to them. And again, over and over again, there was something about how the opinions of others entered into it, and they were afraid that they would be judged. So Group number 3, I'm sorry if you watch this type of reading, unfortunately, it might contain information, but it was never about you, it was about areas that were lacking within them. And ultimately, it appears as if they have released the connection. And do they wish you well? It's weird, I've got this weird possessive energy around them. I'll be really honest, there's something, that person's thinking so much about themselves, and I don't know that they consider, when they were so concerned about what other people would think of them, I wish they had given a little bit, it did not look as if they gave enough thought to how painful it might have been for you. So, group number 3, prepare yourself for the worthy. Every time we connect to somebody, we learn vital things about ourselves that do fuel real connection. But ultimately, this person did not have the strength of character necessary to go for a truly unique connection. I hope that helped. Take care. Be well. Group number 4, this is your reading. We'll put number 4 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading, but there will be timestamps in the description box down below. Hey, these are from the Healing Yourself Oracle. Spoiler, don't like the Oracle, don't like the way that it's worded, don't like the way that it conveys its messages, so I'm just using the cards, and I'll probably freeform it at different points, but I selected them to mark piles today. This is the card for healing, and I did pre-select it, so it does not have a tremendous bearing on the reading. Let's go with the Golden Wheel Tarot. This is a reading for closure. Why didn't things work out? And this is like to be watched when you're in the space for letting go, and it is likely going to contain information to help you let go. So let's go for pile number 4. What happened? Give me closure. Just give me closure. What happened? Why didn't it work out? 1 and 2. Okay. Okay, 9 of Cups in the upright. Boy, that has been all over the place. Now, the 9 of Cups can be something that is like a wish come true. But sometimes it does mean that we wish for things that are not necessarily good for us. So let's keep going. We're going to get a 12-card spread, 6 for them, 6 for you. Remember, they interrelate, and every connection that we have teaches us something that can help us have better connections with ourselves and with others, with the universe, with our divine self. Before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. So we have the 9 of Cups, Page of Cups in reverse, 9 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Wands in the upright, the Lovers in the upright, and then the High Priestess in the upright. Well, the outcome is not necessarily known at this particular point is one of the things that this is saying. But this is like a little bit of a dream come true energy for you. And it came out of nowhere. Like it really was like, it's almost like you weren't even planning on it. And it was a little bit like a dream come true energy. But there's been a lot to overcome with this and a lot of choices around what constitutes true connection for you. This is the Gemini card. 4 of Cups in the upright. 6 of Wands in the upright. Page of Wands in the upright, 5 of Wands in the upright, Queen of Wands in reverse, with the 3 of Cups in the upright. Whew. All right, so this person has a lot of issues. They have a lot of underlying issues that they had not addressed, potentially from their own formative experience, potentially some karmic lessons. Boy, did they ever find you attractive. So that's like absolutely... they were drawn to you. This is being very, very drawn to somebody. There was a connection that I think just took them completely off guard. No lack of passion, but I have multiple energies here that suggest that like it almost, it was too challenging. Like they couldn't figure out how to have the relationship or if they wanted to have the relationship. I think they found you like too challenging for them. I think they're used to having more authority in their relationships. And whereas you're very, like you give as good as you get. Like you know how to stand up for yourself. You may have had some codependency issues in the past. I've got all this wonderful healed energy. I do not think that there's contact at this particular time. And I do have competition on this one, so there could be a third party involved. They may have, quite simply, it's like they couldn't overcome their confusion around who you were meant to be in their life. I think they saw, like, they were very attracted to you, but not all attraction equates to romantic or, like, you know, one to get with you type of action. They were very drawn to you, but also like you were a little bit more than they could handle. You're a little bit more than they can handle. There may be a potential friendship at some point in your life with this person. That outcome is not known, that enigmatic quality of the High Priestess and the Upright, and then the Three of Cups, which can in fact be a reunion. I meant this for a closure reading, and like all of the other piles have held true on that. Your choices going forward, I think that you're at a place where whatever went on with this, no matter how off guard it caught both of you, and whatever it put you through, boy, you've had a lot of time to heal on this. Like, I think you, no matter whatever turmoil, because it's the card of turmoil, and so is this, no matter what turmoil it may have caused in both of your lives, like, it brought clarity to you. We have service. I feel good when I can help others. I, honest to goodness, think that this was beneficial for you both. It was beneficial for you both, but it's almost as if, like I said, this person, I think, wants I'm just going to say it, it's like you're too strong for them. Like you're too strong-willed. Like they don't know how to have an equal relationship. They don't know how to have an equal relationship. And it's not in some creepy manner, but it's like they're very used to being the decider in things. And you're not like that. Like, you're not. Usually we're going to have an overhead copter chase because I live outside of LA. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And then I have abundance. I'm a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Honest to goodness, there's a strange energy here where there really might have been a third party involved and they chose to stay with that person. And it could be that simple. But I think this is more likely the desire for friendship. I have forgiveness there as well. The Three of Cups can be a reunion energy. There's something here where I think they might have run out the clock with you. Meaning that you held space for them and you held space for them and you held space for them, and then you just were like, you know what, I deserve more than this. and so you started focusing on your own choices, on being in alignment with yourself. Now, can the Lover's card be a card of, it's the card for Geminis, but it's also a card of soulmates. You might have thought this person was your soulmate, and I think they thought you were their friend. There's just a strange energy with that. Child eternal. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. And the shadow attribute is inability to grow up and be responsible. Extreme dependency on others for physical security. I'm just going to say this. I don't think they're used to having an equal partner. I think they're used to dictating things in their own, and there's no abuse present with it. But like I said, it's almost like you were too much for them. And that they would like to be your friend because there's almost this, like they get confused around you in a way they didn't get confused around other people. But as for, like, if there's any contact, I'm not showing it. I'm not showing it here. I don't have a true ghosting energy. They might have continued, if you guys went out together, they might have continued to see other people. Here we go. Monk, nun. I have selfish devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit, but the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world and excessive piety. And then rescuer, provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. Shout attribute is assume the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. I have that weird energy. When I keep saying it's like you were too much for them, I think they're used to being a rescuer. And I think that if you needed help at all, it was because there was a terrible crisis, but that you're very good at rescuing yourself. And that you're a lot stronger minded than they are. They prefer they prefer somebody that they don't like equal relationships, I guess. They like to be someone who's in charge. And there was no way to do that with you. But the forgiveness and abundance, like there really may be more to come with this one. And I will tell you honestly, this is the only pile that has reflected that. Like everybody else has been closure, but this Three of Cups and then the High Priestess, it's just that the outcome isn't known at this time, and whatever reunion energy is there, it does not appear to be about, with that monk nun and the rescuer and the, like it's almost like they like the concept of love without the working parts of it, meaning they have a more romanticized idea of it. They've got this vaguely traditional vibe to them. That Six of Wands, that they like somebody who looks up to them. They like somebody who sees them as strong. I have you being very challenging to them. I don't think they're used to that. What happened was quite simply, I think they simply wanted something easier in their life. And it may have already been there. Like that's the thing. It may have already been there and they simply chose the easier path. I have speak your truth. Meaningful coincidences, keep the faith, temptation, good luck, and I want one more on that, ego death. I do think they were tempted by you, I do. I think they want a friendship. I think they do want a friendship. Honest to goodness, I'm not sure where you are with that. I don't think you like the way you've been treated here. I think that you have posed every single scenario you can possibly imagine to yourself as you have quite simply like done a lot of healing work on this. Wherever this is, like if this is something that exists in separation, this is a while in the past. Like this is not like somebody ghosted me 3 months ago. This is something that has had time to go through multiple permutations of what it will become. Meaning like your viewpoint has changed on it from time to time. But at first you were like, this is perfect. We challenge each other. We're intellectual equals. We're this, we're that. And this other person was not looking for an equal. And like I said, it's like they chose something easier. They chose something easier. But I think they do want to be your friend. And they don't know how to do that. And it could be a while. There's no time frame on this. Like this could be like you go about your happy life, you meet somebody else, you get married, you have a wonderful life, and like 15 years down the road, like you turn the corner and there they are, hi, how are you? Missed you, been thinking about you. By the time they come back into your life, honest to goodness, I think you just view them with a different eye. I think you just view them with a different eye. And by the way, the ways to tell whether or not something is really a message for you, I have no agitation around this for you. Like you want to be done. Like that's the energy of this particular, like you're a little bit over this. You just want a darn answer. Why didn't they go for it? Because I think you want to know, I think you just kind of want to know that it was them, not you. And I would agree with that. I would agree with that. They like somebody who looks up to them, admires them, and you challenge them too much. Engagement, partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. With camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception. Learn from the past, make memories. We have the snake. I do think they might have been with somebody else and they simply chose to stay with that person because they're easier. Competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. And then I like you. Someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, want to date. And then healing heart. Healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. We have separation as the last card. Sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Listen, I think this person's going to end up kicking themselves at different points of their life. But they wanted like there's this very weird and like very like traditional phrase coming through about how they kind of wanted to be the king in their own castle, and that's not who you are. Like you're very much, they wanted to be somebody's rescuer. I think they wanted somebody who was a little bit, I keep getting this, they want somebody easier because that doesn't make them confront anything. And since I do have this snake energy, which really is the other woman energy, I honest to goodness, I think that they might have chosen the easier path. And in terms of like, was there love present here? There was infatuation. There was infatuation. There was real admiration as well. With this forgiveness and abundance, you really may see this person again at some point in your life. You really, really might. I don't think we've gotten these cards yet. If we did, I've completely forgotten them already. This is slightly different because, like, this person, I don't think they're driven by passion very much. With this monk nun energy, I don't. Like, not everybody has the same arousal mechanisms, you know what I mean? I don't think this person is asexual necessarily, but they might be somebody who, it's not their guiding star in life. Like, it's, I don't think they have disdain for it exactly, but it's not the thing that rules them. And they like a feeling of power that I don't think they were ever going to have in a relationship with you. We have the time is right, seize the day and make progress on your soul path. With listen to the eternal song of your heart, tune into it and learn to trust. I want one more on this. Tear down the walls around your heart, give and receive security and warmth. Whatever this person made you feel, like you've healed from it. You just, I think that your worth is in your own hands. I don't think you question it a great deal. But this person just, they wanted something easier and less, like I said, less challenging. Less challenging. Were they, like, I think you really want to know if they were in love with you. And I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think over the course of time, you're not so sure you were in love with them either. Like the things that you assumed about them, I don't think they wore well over the course of time. That's the best way I have of putting it. Like, I think that I don't want to say formed contempt towards them, but I think you understood that you're stronger than they are in a lot of ways. I do think they would like to be your friend at a different point. By the time they want to be your friend, like, I just, equal parts. It's like it's not punishing, but it's like you see them very differently the next time you see them. Equal parts. Water seeks its own level. Therefore, I attract those who can meet me where I am on my journey. My interpersonal relationships are mirrors into my own self. So I strive to put my best self into the universe so that I shall find others who seek growth. Wow, that last sentence is just, that really is the thing here. Like, I think you wanted to grow, and I think they wanted to feel like they were in charge in their own life. And that they really seem to have chosen something easier. My success. I define my own success in life. Some people want money, others want happiness. My definition of success is what I intentionally choose. I will roll up my sleeves and ponder what success means to me, then work hard to reach those goals. Honest to goodness, I think your choices are more self-supporting at this point. And I don't mean anything having to do with career. I mean that, like, you won't take anything less than everything from somebody. Like, you're never going to be waiting for somebody else to meet you on common ground. You're not. Like, it's either like you're in or you're out, and if you're not in, you're out. That's the energy I've got, and I think that this particular relationship is the one that helped you get there. I'm not saying you've abandoned romantic ideals, because I don't think you have. But I think you're very much invested in your own path and in your own fortunes these days. And this, I kind of want to get a different set here. I kind of, like, I'm going to get the hidden truth. I have a feeling that there's something hidden coming up for you. And that everything that you learned from this will make that a healthier situation. And in terms of this person, I do think maybe you end up friends, but it's almost like, how do we put this? I think that you have compassion for them, that you see their struggles, and you make it about them and not you going forward. But I don't get I don't get the energy of they don't want challenge. They don't want somebody who makes them strive to be more. They want something easy. Yeah, they do. I have trouble with intimacy. I see life differently now. I want you so badly. I watch your social media. They might. That 6 of Wands is a social media card. I want you so badly. It's weird because it doesn't appear to be sexual passion. It's like they're disappointed in who they turned out to be. That's the best way I have of putting this, is that I think they thought they had, to face a lot of underlying issues, and that they no longer think of themselves as being somebody who meets challenge usually. Because I think they really kind of wanted to seek something that encouraged them not to change and to be with you. That I have trouble with intimacy. I agree with that. I simply agree with that. I think they have trouble with, like I said, sex isn't their guiding star. Like, they found you plenty attractive, but they're very conflicted. They're very conflicted. This energy, it makes me just the tiniest bit sad for this person. They're just a little limited. And I guess that's the easiest way to put this. Is the closure on this is that it made them very uncomfortable. And they had to face some limitations. And they felt very challenged by you. And whereas they found you super attractive, they don't want challenge. They want to be the king in their own castle. Meaning their feeling of power very much comes in relationships. I have no reason to believe that they're an abuser. But it's like they want to be the authoritative voice in relationships. And you two were always going to be equal parts. You were always going to challenge them to go outside of who they were and expand. And ultimately, they couldn't choose that. They simply couldn't choose that. But I do think that they wish they could be your friend. And I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know how you feel about it. But that High Priestess in the upright says that the outcome isn't known at this particular point. And the closure is quite simply, this person wanted a path that did not have an epic love in it. They just wanted this path that reassured them that they were powerful rather than challenge them to grow and find more power. All right, so group number 4, that was your reading. You may end up friends with this person. Remember, it's a general reading, so it can't hold true for everybody. But ultimately, they wanted somebody who was, it's not that they found you to be extra, it's that they just wanted somebody more basic, it seems like. Okay? Take care. Be well.